This little prickly thing is a thistle. See that pretty little flower on the top? See those stickers? I just picked that from the trail that I was on, alongside this little pond, I would say. And what that represents to me is a lot of things, if you think about it. And you know, a farmer, even though as pretty as that might be, a little flower, that's a scourge of his existence, a thistle on a farm, because it does more harm than good. What does more harm than good mean? When you're talking about vaccines, you're talking about pharmaceutical drugs. What does more harm than good mean? What does first do no harm mean? Is that not the agreement that the doctors make when they go to medical school and they get their internship and they go into practice? First, do no harm. First, do no harm should be the basis of all healthcare. It should not, healthcare, be physiologically based on understanding of human physiology? Should it be based on, well, what drug can we come up with that will combat these symptoms? What drug should we come up with that can combat these symptoms? You know, modern allopathic, big pharma educated, misled, standard medical model doctors can do a fairly good job in their diagnosis and their diagnostics of determining what kind of a health condition you actually have. They actually do pretty well with that. You know, it's actually, some of it, their imaging, pretty impressive stuff. But when you go beyond that stage, when you go bang, bang, bang to the next stage, what do you find? They don't find any solutions for those health conditions. Be it whatever it is, those human health conditions, they're not finding solutions. They're just covering up the symptoms with drugs. Even cholesterol drugs, for example. Well, they know, okay, high cholesterol causes artery plugging and vein plugging, and this is pretty simple stuff. Even an average plumber knows that if you got too much junk in the drain, it's going to plug it up, right? This is not rocket science. And the cholesterol drugs basically shut off, through toxicity, the cholesterol production in the liver. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that the standard American diet caused inflammation in the arteries that caused that cholesterol to be a problem. As soon as you get on a raw food diet or clean diet, the cholesterol isn't an issue anymore. It's inflammation. It's not the cholesterol, it's inflammation. What do the drugs do? The cholesterol drugs cause basically muscle wasting disease and muscle problems and weakness. They basically not only eat the fat from the liver and the cholesterol from the liver, they eat the fat from your brain. And there's been many people who have been, if you research it, afflicted with near Alzheimer's conditions because of statin drugs. And when they got off the statin drugs, miraculously, and unlike Alzheimer's, their mental faculties function returned. Oh, that's just a coincidence, they'll tell you. Oh, no proof. No, why isn't your doctor saying, well, this could happen, this could happen? Let's go to vaccines. Gardasil. I have a site page, and VacFacts.info is my site, which entirely details why the FDA is failing and cannot regulate vaccine safety, and Gardasil is a prime example. There's been no vaccine ever as reactive as Gardasil since the old whole cell, the DPT vaccine. And if you look at A Shot in the Dark, that's a book you can buy. It used to be in some of the health food stores. That was the first place that I got a hold of that book and read it. And HPV vaccine, Gardasil. First they started out with 4 strains, and now they've got 9 strains. And it's Gardasil 9. What did they do to get Gardasil 9 approved? I'm kind of thinking that they used the old Gardasil as a placebo. And the original Gardasil, when they did the clinical trials, they used in the injection site reactions comparison, they used the true saline placebo. But in the systemic reactions comparisons to the vaccine, they used the aluminum adjuvant as one placebo, and they used the HPV virus-like particles in carrier solution for the other placebo. So basically, there was never a true saline placebo in comparison of the systemic effects. How could there be? Basically, they used the vaccine to test against the vaccine. You know, aluminum adjuvant, HPV virus-like particles, and carrier solution. What is the carrier solution? You basically got everything in that combination other than the antigen. And the FDA allowed them to do this? Just like with the flu vaccine. Well, you know, we don't need to test, this year's flu vaccine against anything but last year's flu vaccine. Because, that was FDA approved, right? It has to be safe. And on it goes. There's no true testing of a vaccine against a placebo in systemic effects comparisons. And that's just total bullshit. You know, that they get away with this, and the FDA allows them to do this. Aluminum adjuvants. They say, all the amounts in vaccines that are injected are such small and minute amounts, it doesn't matter. Aluminum adjuvants. How would Paul Offit like to take the entire childhood vaccine schedule and up to the age of 18, and we're just going to give him the aluminum adjuvant portion of the vaccine? What would happen to Paul Offit? He'd never walk away from it, because it would cause blood sludging, it would cause immune reactivity that he couldn't even imagine. But he says that infants and children can safely tolerate 10,000 vaccines in one day. Really? So he just interrupted my video. Thank you very much.